Today's lesson is about the consonants of English. The consonants of English are of two types. The first type is oral consonants and the second type is nasal consonants. We will start with oral consonants first. Oral consonants are consonants, speech sounds that are produced when the soft palate is raised, allowing air to escape through the oral cavity, which is the mouth. When producing oral sounds, or we can call them orals, the velum, soft palate, is raised right up against the back wall of the pharynx, thereby directing air to escape or pass or leave through the oral cavity. All speech sounds of English are oral sounds except ma, na, and ng, which are nasal sounds. Nasal consonants, on the other hand, are speech sounds that are produced when the soft palate is lowered, allowing airstream to escape through the nasal cavity, i.e. the nose. When producing nasal sounds, or we can call them nasals, the velum, soft palate, is lowered, directing airstream to escape, pass, leave through the nasal cavity or the nose. There are only three nasal sounds in English, which are m, n, and ng. There are four types of oral consonants. The first type is called friction consonants or fricatives, and they are th and the, th and the, s and z, sh and j, and h. Second type is called stop consonants or stops, and they are p and b, t and d, k and g, ch and j. The third one is lateral consonants, or they call them laterals, which is only one sound, le. The last type, or the last type, is called glide consonants or glides, which are ya, wa, and ra. Nasal consonants, as we said before, there are only three nasal consonants in English, which are m, n, and ng. In today's presentation, we will continue talking about the consonants of English, and we will talk specifically about the friction consonants, the first group of the English consonants, friction consonants or fricatives. Fricatives are speech sounds produced by forcing airstream through a narrow channel made by placing two articulators close together, causing turbulence or friction. They are also called continuous consonants. When we produce them, the air does not completely stop in the vocal tract, i.e. the air continues to escape through the mouth. That's why they call them continuant sounds or continuant consonants. There are five groups of friction consonants or fricative consonants, which are labiodental fricatives, th and the, dental or interdental fricatives, th and the, alveolar fricatives, s and z, post-alveolar, or they call them alveopalatal fricatives, sh and j, and the last group is called glottal fricative, which is the h sound. Before we proceed, discussing the fricative sounds, I need you to know that there is something called phonemic description for sounds. Consonants are described phonemically based on three factors, which are usually in the following order. Meaning, if we need to describe any sound phonemically, we have to look at these three things, which is voice, place of articulation, and manner of articulation. Now, what do we mean by voice? By voice, we mean whether the consonant is voiced or voiceless. Place of articulation is the place of contact between two articulators. For example, the upper teeth and the lower lip, when we produce fa and va, where an obstruction of air occurs in the vocal tract. For example, labiodental, dental, alveolar, post-alveolar, velar, and glottal. These are all examples of place of articulation. We will discuss them in details later on. Number 3, manner of articulation. It refers to the type of constriction or obstruction found in the articulation of sounds. For example, when we have complete closure of air, the manner is called stop. When we have partial closure of air, the manner is called friction. When we have a fairly open articulation, the manner is called approximant. The first group of fricative sounds is called labiodental fricatives. Labio means lips and dental means teeth. There are two labiodental fricative sounds in English, which are fa and va. If we need to describe them phonemically, we can say that fa is voiceless, labiodental fricative, whereas va is voiced, labiodental fricative. Notice that we describe them according to voice, place of articulation, and manner of articulation. You need to learn these factors in this order. Fa is voiceless because it is produced when the vocal cords are not vibrating, whereas va is voiced because it is produced when the vocal cords are vibrating. Fa is called labiodental, which is the place of articulation or the point of articulation, because it is produced when the lower lip is very close to the upper teeth. So notice that we use lips and teeth, lower lip and upper teeth. Fa is also fricative because it is produced with friction. This friction is caused by forcing air or airstream through a narrow passage or channel. Now this channel is made by bringing the lower lip and the upper teeth close together. Now we need to see how fa and va are articulated. How are they produced? What are the speech organs that are involved in the production of fa and va? Number 1, the soft palate is raised, allowing air to escape through the mouth and not the nose. Remember, we said that the soft palate has two positions, raised and lowered. When it is raised, it allows air to pass through the mouth. When it is lowered, it allows air to escape or to pass through the nose. But in the case of fa and the soft palate is raised. Why? Because fa and va are oral sounds. And when we produce oral sounds, in the production of all oral sounds, the soft palate is always raised. Number 2, the bottom lip is close to the upper teeth, i.e., we place the upper teeth on the lower lip or on the bottom lip. Now, when we do that, we form a narrow passage. You can try it now, which causes friction. Now, this narrow passage causes friction when the air stream passes through. Remember, we said the air must leave your body, must leave your vocal tract, must leave your mouth. Now, when the air leaves through this narrow passage, it makes or it causes friction. Number 3, the tongue in the production of fa and va is not very important, is not a real participant. It's not a real participant in fa and va. However, it takes the position necessary for the following sound, for the sound that follows it. For example, if we say free, the tongue takes the position of ra or r. Now, if we say 5, the tongue takes the position of the vowel I, and so on and so forth. What are the differences between fa and va? There are 3 main differences between these two sounds. They are different in voice, they are different in strength, and they are different in length. Whereas fa is voiceless, va is voiced, and whereas fa is strong, va is weak, which means that fa has stronger friction than va. They are also different in length. Fa is longer than va, i.e., fa has longer friction than va. There is an important point to remember. Fa and va affect the vowel that comes before them when they occur finally, i.e., at the end of words. The strong consonant fa makes the vowel that comes before it shorter, whereas the weak consonant va makes the vowel that comes before it longer. For example, if we say safe and save, the vowel in the word save is pronounced with more length than the vowel in the word safe. So we pronounce it like this. We say safe, save, safe, save. Notice that the vowel in the word save is longer than the vowel in the word safe. Another example, cliff and live. Notice that these are 2 minimal pairs which are similar in everything except in one sound. Now, the vowel in the word cliff is pronounced with more length than the vowel in the word live. Okay, now you can listen to the words containing fa and va from track 1 that is going to be uploaded with the PowerPoint. Now, all the words that are in every and each unit has to be learned carefully. You need to learn how to pronounce them correctly. Thank you.